Anthony Bennett might just be the worst #1 pick in NBA history, so he drops all the way to 33rd in our 2013 NBA redraft. But then Victor Oladipo was next, and he drops as well, but only 2 spots, from 2nd to 4th. Then at number 3 and 4, it was Otto Porter and Cody Zeller, and they both drop as well into this 3rd tier to 10th and 15th respectively. And again, picks 5 through 7 are also dropping, with Alex Len and Nerlens Noel falling into this 4th tier, and Ben McLemore dropping into the 5th tier. But finally, at number 8, we have our first riser on the board, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He jumps into the 2nd tier to number 5. Then Trey Burke falls to 18th behind Alex Len, before we reach another good pick at number 10, CJ McCollum. Like KCP, he moves up to the 2nd tier to number 3. Clearly, this was not a very deep draft. But after McCollum, we actually get the player who won Rookie of the Year from this class, Michael Carter-Williams, and he actually falls to 19th in our redraft, as his rookie season was pretty much the highlight of his career. Then at 12 and 13, it was a couple of solid picks, Steven Adams and Kelly Olynyk, and they both rise slightly into tier 3. Then at 14 and 16, we had 2 more busts, but at pick 15, we have the best player from this draft by a long shot. It's the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he rises to number 1 overall. Then at 17, we had another solid pick with Dennis Schroeder, and he jumps all the way to the top of tier 3 to number 6. Then there were a few more forgettable picks from 18 to 21 before we reach Mason Plumlee at 22, and he rises into the 3rd tier to number 12. Then after Solomon Hill, we had 2 more solid picks, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Reggie Bullock. The 2 former Mavericks rise into tier 3, with Hardaway slotting just behind Steven Adams at 8th. And then following Andre Robertson, we had Rudy Gobert with the 27th pick. The 4-time Defensive Player of the Year jumps all the way into the top tier, just behind Giannis, to number 2 overall. And then finally, picks 28 through 30 were inconsequential as well, so that completes the first round of this weird and ultimately pretty underwhelming draft. And there weren't that many noteworthy second rounders either. We can briefly bring in Alan Crabb and Mike Muscala, they both rise into this 4th tier, but it was the undrafted players that were slightly more impactful. Robert Covington, Seth Curry, and Daniel Tice all rise into the 3rd tier, with Covington going up to 9th overall. And then Dwayne Dedmon and Matthew Dellavedova both rise into the 4th tier to 24 and 25. Alright, so that'll do it for our 2013 NBA redraft. Who's too high and who's too low? Let me know in the comments.